Sugar is something we consume every day in humongous amounts, a lot more than we should do. Like, let's do a guessing game. Can you guess how much sugar the average American consumes in a day? It's actually none of them. It's 130 grams, which is a lot. And that's average. We are addicted to sugar here. We exceed that limit quite a lot. 2 years ago, I was unrecognizable. I was fat, unattractive, addicted to a lot of stuff. Like any young man addiction that you can think of, I had. And obviously, because of that, I suffered from an immense amount of lack of confidence. And when I turned 16, I thought that I started getting interested in girls, you know? And I wanted some attention from girls because I saw like the boys in my class were like top-notch guys. Like all of them were very good at something except me. Like I was the only loser in the. It sounds weird, but I think God sent me into that class to sort of wake me up. But overall, my class was made of like chads, you know? And I was the only one there that didn't really have anything going for him. Because like my classmates were either attractive, interesting, or they were like really fucking smart. I wasn't interesting, not attractive, and not that smart. I realized that if I wanted to like gain any kind of confidence or stuff like that, I'd need to lose weight. And to do that, I had to quit sugar because sugar was by far my biggest enemy in my weight loss journey. I had to quit sugar. I tried 20 different tactics. I looked on YouTube, on Google, how to quit sugar. All advice was garbage and none of them took it seriously because we don't take sugar seriously because it's the single most addictive substance that we can buy and it's not regulated. Like drugs are illegal. Alcohol is regulated. Only if you're 18 plus you can consume it and there's heavy taxes on it. Cigarettes are the same. Energy drinks, again, I believe in some countries you can drink it only if you're an adult or like you're over 16, and there is social stigma against kids next to coffee, like caffeine and taurine, but sugar is given to us since we're babies, and it's addictive and it's highly destructive. I believe this is a problem worth solving. Because of how widespread sugar is, we all are a tiny bit addicted to sugar. So for me to quit my sugar addiction, because I was like full on sugar addicted. Like if I didn't eat sugar in a day, I would genuinely feel like there is like something missing. I never smoked, but I imagine like this is how smokers feel, like that that like a scratch that needs to be like an itch that needs to be scratched, you know. That's how I felt. So I'm going to tell you how I escaped that for sugar, and I believe this is for everything. So instead of looking at people who claimed they know, I looked at actual people who do it. So I looked at how people actually get away, like how do they cure addictions for very hard stuff like drugs. When a drug addict goes into the rehabilitation facility, they are given the same amount of drugs in a smaller quantity. Then they change the drugs to something less powerful. They give them less of that. And then they repeat this cycle until the afflicted can go without any drugs, without entering a withdrawal. And then they leave. Yet, I believe that 2% of people who enter rehab manage, like after they get into rehab, to not touch drugs again. Like a lot of them start again. And I was wondering, like, how does this happen? How do you end up, like after entering rehab, after having a miserable life because of drugs, and God blesses you to survive and get rid of this addiction, you go out and in 2 weeks you're back at it. And I realized that it's the space that they go back that makes them go back into drugs. And that's the same for sugar. Your entourage is the single biggest power in your addiction. People who start smoking because of the entourage they're in. I grew up in a fat family. My family is overweight. Most of the members of my family are overweight. I think me, my brother, and my aunt are normal weight. The rest of them are overweight or obese. When you grow and you live in a space where this is daily life, overeating, eating a lot of sugar is normal. You are going to develop like people who think it's normal. For example, if you had, like I did in the beginning of high school, a group of friends that call you at after school to go play video games until 2 a.m. You're going to go and play video games until 2 a.m. because that's your entourage. If you're getting calls about let's go play video games, you're gonna go play video games. If the food in your house is a lot, like if there's a lot of food in your house and it's a lot of unhealthy food, you are going to live like that. So in terms of friends, it's hard, but it's highly effective to get rid of them. So if the engine of your addiction are your friends, I highly recommend you get rid of them, because why would you want to keep people that harm you in the long run? But for family it's harder, because you cannot kick your family, you know what I'm saying? You can, but the advantage of family compared to friends is that family and your parents, who are the engines basically, because they decide what food gets inside your house. They genuinely want the best for you, and they know that a healthy diet with the least amount of sugar is healthy for you. Unlike your friends who couldn't give a shit what's healthy for you. They just want to experience the pleasures together with someone. And if you'd tell them, bro, let's not do this because it's harming us, your friends are going to be like, bro, what are you talking about? Shut up. But when you talk about family, your parents, I believe your parents will make an effort to help you develop healthily and not consume that much sugar just because. And they will be on your side on this, unlike your friends, which you can just cut off. Now that we've taken care of your entourage, let's diminish our addiction. Let's take care of our actual addiction. So the first step you need to take in order to heal your addiction is to understand the psychological root of your addiction. For example, my addiction with sugar was highly connected to my feelings of stress and anxiety. When I felt anxious or stressed about something, I had I had like a pain in my chest that needed to be filled. And my brain would instantly wire that need of filled with consuming sweets, because I found comfort in it. And whenever I had that, I felt like I need to get something sweet so I feel comfortable, you know? Now, I genuinely believe that the most effective way to get rid of this is to change your reaction to highly stimulating emotions like stress, anxiety, fear, like, or disappointment, stuff that are like powerful feelings. You need to change your reaction. For example, now I developed this without my conscious knowledge. Like, I didn't want this, but I did. But for example, everyone has something like this. Like, when I get super stressed, like I fuck up something bad and I'm like stressed and I need to take action very quickly or otherwise things are going to get worse, I constantly do this. Like, I wipe my face like constantly, and my brother noticed this and was like, bro, what are you doing? And like, if I'm very stressed, I just like do this all the time. Everyone has this, like you clench your fist, something. Everyone has something. And try to find one of these, or some way of converting the powerful sentiments or the pain or the itch that needs scratching, and you use sugar for that. Use it, transform the energy into something else. Now, when I feel disappointed in myself or anxious or I feel hopeless, which are basically just smaller parts of the feeling of sadness, like disappointment, lack of belief, or when you're feeling down, those are just sentiments that derive from sadness. A lot of people are able to directly transform sadness into productivity. I can't. I very easily, much more easily, transform sadness into anger and anger into productivity. So now if I feel stressed, because like stress and anxiety, they derive from anger. So those I straight up into work. No questions asked. Stress and anxiety, I straight up send them into work, and that's it. But disappointment or lack of self-esteem, stuff like that, those are deriving from sadness. I take those feelings, I turn them into anger, and the easiest way to turn them into anger is to find a patsy. Find someone or something that got you there, or like even if it's not real, because most of the time it's your fucking fault, but you need to find someone to blame so you can be mad at it. You find something to blame. Most of the time it's your fucking fault. Like, don't boast yourself to death. But you can take your bad feelings, blame it on some bullshit, and then funnel that anger that grows from your sadness into productivity, and you can do something. And after you're done with your work, you're happy again. So this is something that I praise God every day, and I'm very grateful for this, is that 90% of my day, no matter what happens, I'm happy. So I'm genuinely a happy person. Like, I don't feel disappointed. I have lows, you know, but those lows, I funnel them into intense productivity. And after I'm done with my productivity, I feel proud of myself and I feel happy again. So now the last piece of advice that I can help you with quitting your sugar addiction is don't cut sugar off with a straight razor. Don't try to cut sugar off, because you're going to feel the need for it and you're probably going to cave. And when you cave and you start eating sweets again, you're going to blame yourself and accuse yourself for failing when it's not really true, and you're going to quit on your attempts to quit your sugar addiction and you're back to ground zero. But if you take small, consistent steps, you have one meal, or like one place in your, at the beginning you have one place in your day in which you ate sugar, but now you don't. Then you have two, then you have three. After time goes and you feel comfortable with it. The essence of this piece of advice is small, steady steps are a lot more valuable than fast, inconsistent ones. And remember, you are dedicated, you're ambitious. God and time are on your side. And as long as you never give up, you never failed. Goodbye.